Good afternoon, guys. I'm gonna come out here and do a quick garden check. Um, we had a nice rain last night. Uh-oh, dropped my Bluetooth. Ugh. And I just kind of want to see how things look. I did come out here to cut my lettuce, but I did want to come out here and see how things was looking because a few weeks ago we had a bad hailstorm and it destroyed everything. And I'm already seeing my okra plants shot up overnight, more leaves on them. And that one is standing up, as well as my pepper plant down here. I checked to see if I had any more ripe mini cherry tomatoes. But while I'm out here, let's talk about this Diddy stuff. Guys, I am glad I am simple. I would consider myself normal. Remember I said I cut those onions tops. Everything looked good and watered. The leaves have bounced back so much. This heat is tearing everything up already, guys. But looky here. This Diddy trial, guys, is something serious. I've been following it since it started. I mean, if you've been following the Diddy trial, leave a comment on what you think so far. You know, it's okay. We can have grown folks conversations as long as we're not being disrespectful to anyone, okay? But yeah, you know, let me know what you think so far. And for those that y'all, I'm simple. I don't stay in no $1 million house. I do simple stuff in our garden. And I crochet and I do fillings and I do my little job that I have, and I'm a wife and I cook and I can. So I'm pretty simple. But is that enough? You know? As I'm following this Diddy trial, it makes you wonder when it come down to some of these people, was they not satisfied with themselves to some level, whether it was career-wise, whether it was relationship-wise? I mean, how do you allow yourself to get that invested in this particular person to where you ended up on a real bad career path, life path? Have you guys ever found yourself in a situation like that? I mean, I don't want to say, well, maybe, yeah, let me ask this. Are you a people pleaser? Are you a person that have low self-esteem and always need validation from someone? Do you feel like you have to have the finer things in life and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there? You know what I'm saying? To get it. I'm not saying, for those that's very, very talented and really inspired to be, a musician, an entertainer at some level, that you're willing to pretty much sign your life away. You know what I'm saying? Like take any contract that's offered, or, do inappropriate things to move to the next level, go higher up. Have you ever been that person that had to date the most popular person in school? That football player, that basketball player, that track star, the cheerleader, you know? And yes, I know, I mean, I'm asking all these questions because it seemed like with this trial, a lot of these people priorities, it seemed like it was a lot of self-esteem when it got down to some of the relationships, greed when it got down to the artistry. And when I say greed, I'm not saying they was just being greedy because they was trying to just um, make all the money, because anyone that have a job or a company, the goal is to make money. So if you're a musician, your goal, you want to make money, you want to sell records, right? But at what cost did these people do this stuff? Was you or have you ever dibbled and dabbled in illegal substances at one point in your life? Are you still actively engaging, or did you find your way out of it? You know? And I know it seemed like I'm asking a whole lot of questions, but my mind is just sitting here racing because, I think about all the things, growing up as a young girl, and the things that I seen in just my community and everyday life situations, and the things that I turned my back on just because for me, my morals and my values and my self-respect and my character as a female was more important to me than the money, the fame, the popularity, you know? And I'm okay with saying I'm plain Jane. I'm simple, you know what I'm saying? I've learned the basics. I say the basic skills in life, how to survive. I may not be someone's their catch, but I'm a good catch, for someone. You know, all I've been seeing or hearing, everything is like X, drugs, popularity, power, money, fame. I've never seen anyone, well, I'm not going to say that. I haven't heard throughout this particular trial anyone talk about true normal people, love, respect, honor, cherish, stuff like that. And I'm not saying it have to be in a marriage with these individuals. I'm saying no one showed any respect for themselves or others. It's weird. I grew up, I'm a few years shy of Diddy's age. And I grew up listening to, a lot of his artists, him, himself, his music, of course, Tupac, the Biggies. And, you just have to ask yourself, like, dang, all this was going on. And that outward appearance that I grew to love with, with him as an entertainer, as well as the other artists that was under his labels and surrounding the music industry and even the television industry, all this is going on. And of course, some things, supposed to be left, unseen and unsaid. But it's one thing with having a private life, but it's another thing having a secret, abusive, destructive demeanor in life that affects other people. And of course, I'm not knocking him because he's a celebrity, because it happens every day with what we call the poor folks, people without money or with low income or limited income people. And that's anyone that's making under $100,000 a year. That's what I'm saying. Um, I seen broken relationships with ordinary folks. I seen abusive relationships with ordinary folks. I seen drug abuse. I seen, violence, you know, within my family, around my community, other people, the side chicks, the side dudes. You see that. What makes an individual that inflicts that type of manipulation and gaslighting on another person, why not just go in and straight up just say, hey, look, I'm honestly not looking for a serious relationship. Right now I want to play the ropes, play the field. We can kick it. If you're okay with it, just know that this is what's going on. It's not all this money exchange and all this crap, but to deceive a person, to believe that you're someone you're not, is wrong. And only to find out when you know this person has emotionally invested in you after you have gaslit them to believing that you were someone that had morals and respect, what we call, you put the charm on them, to turn around and abuse them. Now, some people see it, from a distance and not tricked into it. You really do have some real true fighters, people that will fight back or walk away and willing to fight physically if they have to protect themselves, to get away from the situation straight once they recognize it. But you do have those people that don't walk away so easily because, you have people that really believe in love, or the giving people the benefit of the doubt that this person, maybe they're going through something and they didn't mean to do this. It happens. I've seen it happen. And we talking about with the po folks. But, more on this here, at another time. I just kind of want to get some dialogue from others. What do you think about what's going on and what you may have seen, in your community, your surroundings, that is similar? Leave a comment. Oh, also, you can leave a comment on one of your favorite, especially if you're old enough, one of your favorite pastime artists, at least from the 90s on up to, let's say, 2020. Okay, let's do it like that. I'm gonna give you a wide range. So, name one of your favorite artists from the 90s up to 2020s that kind of like vanished, pretty much. That's not out there doing anything anymore. It seemed like they just dropped off. I don't want your favorite artists, but I would like to hear from, you guys that been here long enough to there's something in them trees back there. Why that tree shaking? Let me see if I can pick it up. I don't know if it's gonna pick up on camera real good, but it's like right in between there. The wind ain't blowing that hard for it to be shaking. But anyway, on a sidetrack. But yes, list one of your favorite pastime artists that it seemed like they vanished. And we talking about artists that's from the 90s up until up to 2020. They vanished, or they passed away, or they ended up on drugs. I mean, through your research that you found out this is what happened, or they're just no longer, did they switch genres? Did they switch professions? Like, what is an artist that you would love to hear from that was one of your favorite artists back in the day that they just vanished? Leave me a comment. And also, don't forget to leave me a comment on What do you think about the Diddy trial? Again, like, share, and subscribe. And again, this is just Love Ladies Gardening. I'm just a simple garden station, but I am trying to stay, current and updated with the Diddy stuff. Thank you guys and have a good day.